And I got my supervisor right here watching me. And am I getting it deep enough? She tried to eat my microphone. It is completely covered in cow slobber. What are you doing? This is not the time and place for this. There's never a time and place for this. I don't even know what I'm saying. No, stop it. Stop it. You guys are not helping me one bit. Not a bit. You need to go somewhere else. So this week I got new cutting teeth for our 9-inch auger. I've always struggled drilling holes with this. But before I do that, I want to go inside. I want to show you the Allis Chalmers. I've been cleaning it up a little bit. It's getting really close to being able to paint. So I've been cleaning all the paint off the back half of the tractor here, and I've got the transmission area pretty well cleaned up. I need to get the paint off of the shifter here. And then there's actually some really tiny places that I need to get in with a die grinder. Like I've got paint that's back in this corner, and there's just little spots like that throughout, you know, the back half that still needs a little bit cleaned up. You can tell the first axle that I cleaned, it's just not as clean as the rest. The rest of this I got way more paint off of. I did a better job as I got farther along. So after I get the rest of the paint off of this, I've got to get the transmission cover, get the gasket in there, get it bolted down. I think I've got new bolts for that. I've got new bolts for this axle over here, and there's a few other bolts and nuts I'm just gonna go ahead and replace before I paint it. And then we can go ahead, primer and paint, get the back half of this done. So hopefully, I'm hoping to get a chance to do that over this Christmas holiday. So hopefully within the next week or so, I'm hoping to have this painted in a video out. So we'll just have to see how that comes along, but I'm getting closer. So right here are the new cutting edges. I was only able to find these on eBay. They had the right center to center distance, and now that I have them, I believe these are correct. So as we compare old and new, and we put them on top of each other, you can see the bolt holes line up, but this is missing about a 1/4 inch off of this outer edge. It's worn completely off of there. And this is the one that looks the best. As we look at the other tooth, it's actually supposed to cut wider. We're missing about a whole 1/2 inch on the bottom. You can see we're missing a 1/4 inch here, and then it just gets bigger, and we're missing this whole tooth is completely missing off of the old auger teeth. So I think that's what our whole problem was. Instead of cutting a full 9-inch diameter, apparently this was cutting somewhere closer to probably an 8-inch diameter, and I think that was kind of getting wedged down in there and not cutting. So I am hoping that these new cutting teeth will make a big difference. Now the other thing I noticed is that the cutting tooth itself, which I know you're not gonna be able to see this, is pointier. It's got a sharper angle, it's a pointier tooth, so I think that it will cut better. These are more of a blunt tooth. They're a little thicker and come to a point rather quickly. So I'm hoping with the new cutting edge and being a full diameter that this is gonna do the trick. So let's go ahead and bolt them on and cross our fingers. My glass! Oh. Well, I had another one of them dumb moments. I left my coffee cup up on the fender of the tractor, and the vibration let it fall off and break. So, there's my mug. I really like that mug. Just in case. All right, I think I've gathered up everything I need. I even went inside and I got a coffee cup that doesn't break. All right, I think I'm gonna continue on the other day where we set the posts down there. I'm out here with the sheep and the heifers, and they're very curious. They're definitely wondering what's going on. I think I'm gonna start over here on the corner of the building. We're gonna come across, and we're basically gonna go down to where we set our posts the other day. And I think we've got about 7 post holes to drill. It's 44 degrees today. It's warmed back up, so it's a perfect opportunity to try to do this. It'll drill easier next to the barn because of the gutter, it's wet there. It'll probably be muddy. And as we come over here, it'll be drier. So that one right there is a fairly muddy hole. There's a gutter right there, so that one was gonna be easy. And I got my supervisor right here watching me. And of course, it's not perfectly straight. Go figure. I think you're definitely bonded to us a little bit more than Ellie is. Am I getting it deep enough? Go get us a post. No, 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 no. Maya, I leave for a few minutes and you start messing with everything. She tried to eat my microphone. It is completely covered in cow slobber. Nasty. Maya wants right in the action. You think that's a scratching post? It's a tamper. Oh, Mo. Ugh. And then Mo knocks over the camera. The lens is covered in mud. The microphone is covered in slobber. You guys are not helping me one bit. Not a bit. You need to go somewhere else. What are you doing? This is not the time and place for this. There's never a time and place for this. I don't even know what I'm saying. No, stop it. Stop it. Why don't you go bug her? Go bug your friend Ellie. All right, we finally got a dry hole and it is drilling. It's a little bit slow, but it's still doing its job. All right, we finally got a hole drilled in dry clay soil. That's always been where my problem has been, when this soil gets that hard packed clay, and usually the auger does not want to drill in it, and it did. It was slower, but it got the job done. As you look at it, you can see that this is really fine powder. You know, it cuts slower, and you can just tell by the powder it produces. And you can tell that it's definitely drier soil here. But it did it. Before it wouldn't. So that's looking good so far. But we should have a whole row of posts here in this same dry soil. Oh, supervisor's back, checking out my work. So this here was the hardest hole to drill so far. It took 8 minutes and 45 seconds to drill that hole. But it did it. It at least did it, so it's improved. Last time I let it sit for probably at least 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, and it only drilled halfway down. So this is definitely an improvement, but in this hard clay soil, these augers, everybody has trouble with them. I get it in the comments that everybody has the same problem. So there is a couple suggestions that I get all the time from people, and maybe we should try one of those. So the main problem is this works with gravity, and it just does not weigh enough to force it down and drill. So a suggestion I get a lot is to add a round bar on here, like a 3/4 inch, 1 inch round bar, and put weights on it from like a weightlifting set. You know, you can stack some 25, 50 pound weights on here, and it will help this weigh a little bit more. And that sounds like a fairly safe, hands-off approach to be able to get this to drill a little bit better. So the other method is make it where you can insert a piece of pipe in here and use it as a lever so you can pull down on it and use your own weight. I think you could get a lot more leverage. This here is my new tamping rod, and it's 7 feet long, so you can see you get fairly far away from the auger and pull down. I think you get way more weight, way more leverage doing this method. But I do think you have to be off the tractor, so you're not controlling the tractor no more. You have to have a second person. I think there's probably a little more risk or safe. It's not probably as safe, I guess I should say. So I do think this would probably give you the best chance of drilling. But I think what I'm gonna do is just put the piece of pipe. We're gonna put a piece of pipe on here, go get some weights and see if we can stack up, I don't know, another 50, 100 pounds worth of weight on there and see how it does. So now I've got the auger about as low as it'll go, and we're gonna weld this piece of pipe on here. And as I'm eyeballing this, right there looks to be about a 45-degree angle. And I think that'll work out well. Once it's straight up, I think that this will be about straight up and down. And we're out about as far as we can for putting weights out to the end. So I think right there is gonna work. We'll go ahead and weld it on. Got a couple of these strong hand tool magnets to help hold this in place. So you can see the weights will stack on there. I just got to go down to the basement and see how many I can stack up on here. 25, 50, 70, 90, and there's 100. That's probably all we're going to fit. So once again, my supervisor's here, trying to micromanage everything. I'm not gonna get anything done. How can I work in these conditions? Naya, it's not very nice. Yes. Well, it is drilling. We got the weight pack on there. You can see it slowly working its way down. All right, we got our last 3 holes drilled, and the middle one was the toughest. It got all the way down about 2.5 feet in the ground. It hit the hard pan clay, and it just did not want to go through it. And it took several minutes to get to the very bottom of that middle hole. But overall, the auger is cutting better than it did a couple weeks ago. So I only had enough weights to put 100 pounds here on the end of the auger, and I think that's something that I can look for, like on Facebook Marketplace or something like that, see if I can find some old weightlifting sets. The biggest weight on here is 25 pounds. If I can find some 50-pound weights or just maybe a bunch of 25-pound weights, I think I should be able to get this at least up to 150 pounds on here, and I think that's gonna help out a lot more. So I think between the weights and the new cutting teeth, the auger's definitely improved from what it ever has been since I've owned it. Well, do you guys approve? Well, like I say, I'm definitely worn out, but I've got all the posts put in along here. They're all set, tamped in, and I think that should be the last of the posts for a little while. So as we look at our fence line, I think all the posts lined up fairly well, and I think the top of the posts lined up really well also. So pretty happy with the way this fence line has turned out so far. So the way we're building this corral has changed a little bit from our original plans because we didn't have any way to load cattle in what we were planning on building. So we decided to add an alleyway on the back side of this white barn that's going to lead across, and it'll turn just a little bit at the end so you can back a trailer up to it. And that should work good for loading cattle. We'll have the squeeze chute in the barn attached to a bud box and another little alleyway. So we'll have a way to work on the cattle there. And I think we'll end up with actually 1 or 2 pins on the inside of there so that we can pin up an animal if we need to. So all things that we needed. And I'm pretty happy with the way I think we've got this all planned out this time. And we're including hay feeders along the fence line as well. We may end up doing about maybe 3 different hay feeders in different fence lines as we build the corral and as we fence in this area and plant it in pasture. So I think we've about finalized what we're doing here, and we just need to basically get it built. But anyway, I think that's going to be it for this video. I need to go in the house and get cleaned up because my sister is down, and I'm going to be going over to my parents tonight, and we're going to be sitting down and having like a holiday meal over there. So I need to get cleaned up and head over. And if I don't make another video before Christmas, I hope you guys have a happy holiday and a Merry Christmas. And I want to thank everybody that ended up sending us Christmas cards. We got quite a few Christmas cards in the mail. I even got one from Louisiana that has alligator on it. It's a Cajun Christmas card. So I thought that was kind of neat. But anyway, that's it for this video, guys. Have a Merry Christmas. I'll see you next time. Maya, you think you can clean that off while you're at it? What did you do? Oh my God. Maya, no! You tried to eat it! Maya, that's my measuring tape. Golly, you're rough. Now you knocked my measuring tape off, see? How am I supposed to get anything done with you guys bothering me? Your bony head. No. You try to eat everything. It's coffee. You've drank my coffee before. I know you like it. No. Maya, stop it. Maya, no. You're killing me, sweetheart. Move your legs, sweetie. Come on, get off my level. Thank you. It's hard to find good help around here.